What Happens at Night by Thomas Alexander.
The Harvest of Hollows. Tonight's first contestant is a grade A parasite named Richie. Richie was a big shot in the scream industry. He bought up sites of real tragedies and turned them into extreme experiences. He figured the dead were too tired to complain about the noise. But the thing about death is, it doesn't always come for your throat. Sometimes it just starts with the furniture. It started on October 30th. Richie was in his office yelling into a speakerphone at his lead contractor. "I don't care if the floorboards are damp, Miller, dry 'em out or paint 'em over. We open in 6 hours and I'm not losing 20 grand in pre-sales because the place smells like a basement." "It's not just the smell, Richie," Miller's voice crackled back. "The props, the scarecrows we put in the VIP lot. They're heavy. We tried to move one this morning and it took 4 guys, and Richie..." It breathed on me. Richie rolled his eyes, pouring a double scotch. "It's a pneumatic pump, you idiot. It's supposed to hiss. Get back to work." Richie stayed late that night. Around 2 a.m., he went to his car, a pristine silver Porsche. He reached for the handle, but his hand slipped. The metal felt soft, like overripe fruit. He wiped his hand on his pants, cursing the humidity, and drove home. The next morning, Halloween, Richie woke up and couldn't find his shoes. He looked under the bed and found a trail of dry black corn husks leading into his walk-in closet. "Housekeeper!" he shouted, but the house was silent. He walked into his kitchen, and the smell hit him. Not rot, harvest, the thick, cloying scent of dying stalks and wet earth. He opened his refrigerator, and instead of milk and eggs, the shelves were packed tight with dirt. Fresh, dark soil, packed so hard it cracked the glass. He didn't call the police. Men like Richie don't like people looking into their business. He drove back to the asylum, his hands shaking on the wheel. Every time he looked in the rearview mirror, he saw a tall, raggedy shape in the back seat. But when he turned around, just empty leather. By 11 p.m. on Halloween night, the asylum was packed. Richie was backstage, sweating through his silk shirt. Miller found him near the power grid. "Richie, I'm done. I'm leaving," Miller said, dropping his keys. "The actors, they aren't wearing the masks anymore. The masks are growing onto them. I tried to pull one off, and the kid started bleeding sawdust." Richie grabbed Miller by the collar. "You stay right here. We have 3 hours left." "Look at your hands, Richie," Miller whispered, his eyes wide with horror. Richie looked down. His fingernails weren't keratin anymore. They were sharp yellow kernels. His skin was starting to turn the color of dried burlap, peeling away in long, fibrous strips. I just need some air," Richie stammered, stumbling out toward the VIP lot. He found the scarecrow exactly where Miller said. Richie marched up to it, desperate to prove he wasn't losing his mind. "Who's in there?" Richie choked out. "Show your face." He grabbed the burlap hood, but there was no mask to pull off. It was his own face, stitched into the fabric, staring back at him with empty, straw-filled sockets. Richie spent those hours rooted to the asphalt, watching his legs turn into gnarled vines, feeling the crows start to circle. The transition wasn't fast. It took until the sun started to peek over the horizon. I didn't do a thing. I just leaned against the fender, watched the sunrise, and finished my coffee. Richie wanted to own the atmosphere? Well, I'd say he's finally part of the scenery.